Madam Speaker, I thank the Honourable Member for the questions. Madam Speaker, the Offshore Fisheries Management Decree 2012 and the Offshore Fisheries Management Regulation 2014 are two very important tools to combat illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. These legal instruments were developed in order to ensure that the highly migratory fish stocks such as tunas and billfish are sustainably managed. Madam Speaker, these two documents enable the Fisheries Department to manage offshore fishing stocks in a structured manner and in accordance with internal standards. The legislation, Madam Speaker, also takes into account Fiji's regional and international obligations, such as the United Nations Conventions of the Law of the Sea, the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission, Conservation and Management Measures, and the Convention for the International Trade in Endangered Species, to name a few. Madam Speaker, following the promulgation of the Offshore Decree and Regulation, the Fisheries Department Monitoring, Control and Enforcement, Surveillance and Investigation Units were increased by a number of 25 authorized officers. These officers, Madam Speaker, were recruited under the present government's recognitions for the need to effectively combat illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. This 25-member unit works within the ambit of these two documents and in cooperation with line ministries, the Fiji Navy, regional entities such as the Pacific Islands Forum Fisheries Agency and the Western and Central Pacific Commission and its member nations. Madam Speaker, all these agencies collectively enforce the Offshore Decree and Regulation in order to ensure the effective monitoring of national and foreign vessels that fish within Fiji's fisheries waters in the neighboring exclusive economic zones and the high seas. Various activities are monitored under the Offshore Decree and Regulation, Madam Speaker, and this legislation allows transparent and rigorous licensing process, vessel monitoring system, boarding and inspection activities of designated ports, observer placements on fishing vessels, port sampling and port monitoring activities through the active enforcement of port state measures under the Offshore Decree. Moreover, Madam Speaker, Fiji continues to boost its efforts in the developments of catch documentation and verification systems which have ensured the proper tracking of tuna products to the standard of the European Union and the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tuna. Madam Speaker, in the year 2016, with the introduction of the fish penalty notices, authorized officers are now able to enforce the requirements under these two documents against offences and charges specific to non-compliance against the conditions put forward. These have resulted in cases being either taken to court or being settled outside of the court system through payment of the stipulated fines within the fixed.
I say this with respect, Madam Speaker, but could a ruling be made in relation to the answers that are coming from ministers from the other side? Because the standing order is very clear that answers must be concise and precise. What we're having now is, if the Honourable Minister or ministers want to give a statement, they can do that. But the standing order is very clear on what the answer should be. They should be concise, precise, and to the point. So could a ruling be made on this?
The Minister is providing the answer the best way that he can, and we will allow him to do that. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Please continue.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I think my answer is concise and it's on the point. This enforcement process is a continuous cycle, Madam Speaker. Current and new recruited observers continue to attend capacity building under the Pacific Islands Forum Fisheries Agency, making all enforcement effective and consistent. These observers are often attached to neighboring Pacific Island countries on enforcement, monitoring, surveillance and investigation exercises, both at the national and the regional level. Ultimately, Madam Speaker, the Department has and shall endeavour to effectively regulate the fishing industry and its stakeholders under the Offshore Fisheries Management Decree 2012 and the Offshore Fisheries Management Regulation 2014 in an effort to market and ensure that Fiji is a compliant nation operating with international standards. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Rocky Iraqi.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question.
Madam Speaker, Fiji EEZ covers an area of 1,229,728 square kilometers. My question is, Madam Speaker, how effective or what is the result in terms of this decree, the success rate of arrests of illegal fishing to date, as alluded to by the Minister, the relevant stakeholders that are involved in the monitoring and the surveillance of this huge area. What is the success rate, Madam Speaker?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, for the information of the House, the success rate is more than 90%. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Mohammadin.
Supplementary question, Madam Speaker. Can the Minister elaborate if any foreign vessels has been imposed penalties if they fail to comply with the regulations? Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, any foreign vessels that does not comply with our legislation has been taken into tax and been penalized according to our laws.
Thank you. Honourable Namatula.
The Honourable Minister explained to us in the last year how many vessels were arrested. He said 90%, so that what?
Madam Speaker, the question is statistical in nature. I can produce to the House.
The Honourable Delakarata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Supplementary question. I thank the Minister for his response. My question is, does the Fiji government pay any fees to all these stakeholders to police the EEZ? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, all those agencies have been tasked to work with government to carry out the activities of policing our EEZ zone.